Scheduled for Tuesday, December 2nd of 2025. Alright, our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Martin Macharia. We are live across our social media platforms, that is on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can as well send us your feedback through our SMS line, that is 23059. Now, EBN Prime Edition starts now. And President William Ruto has directed a national crackdown on criminal groups responsible for violence during political campaigns, warning that the government will not tolerate the harassment of innocent citizens. Speaking during the graduation ceremony of 5,892 chiefs and assistant chiefs who were successfully completed induction, paralegal and security management training, the head of state emphasized the need for decisive action against such criminal elements. He specifically instructed the Inspector General of Police, that is Douglas Kanja, to tackle the menace and ensure public safety. President William Ruto, however, called on national government administration officers to actively address cases of gender-based violence, which he noted remain prevalent across many parts of the country.
The most important issue we must deal with in the next few months is to make sure that Your Excellency, we deal with the issue of goons across the country. And I must say this, Your Excellency, this must be done without fear or favor. It must be done indiscriminately.
Wale ambao wanatumia vijana kama wahuni, watu ambao wanatumika kulete fujo, kupiganisha wananchi, kulete maafa, hawa ni watu ambao hatuwezi kukubali. Na nishamueleza Inspector General wetu wa polisi kwamba watu hawa wote lazima wachukuliwe hatua kali za kisheria, ndio tukomeshe uhuni na mambo ambayo yanaharibu usalama katika taifa letu la Kenya.
Now, as Kenyans prepare to travel up country this festive season, the government has announced stricter enforcement of traffic rules to reduce road accidents during Christmas and New Year. The new measures were agreed upon during a meeting in Nairobi between the National Transport and Safety Authority, that is the NTSA, police and transport stakeholders. Motorists should expect alcohol checks along major highways, including the Nairobi-Mombasa and the Nairobi-Malaba routes, and the return of mobile courts to ensure immediate penalties for traffic violations. In the move to curb corruption, the government has also introduced a toll-free number that allows the public to report errant traffic officers by submitting videos and location details.
So that from there, we know where is the time for.
And any member of the public who happen to see an officer engaging himself in a corrupt practice, even if he's a passenger seated and the vehicle is stopped, then he can peep in and see that road sign. And then he do what? Then he called the relevant number, toll-free numbers. And even now I've been receiving videos of officers receiving bribes along the public roads. I can even show you one here if you want. Honest members of the public have been sending me those videos, and we normally take what? We normally take action. And I would like members of the public to complain where they have reported and action has not been taken. I welcome that.
This was therefore to agree together that we do not want any Kenyan to lose their lives during this festive season, and therefore we recommit to do, each stakeholder to do their responsibilities, so that then for speed limiters, they have to ensure that speed limiters that are fitted in all vehicles provided for in law actually limit speed.
Now, nearly 20,000 secondary school teachers whose one-year contracts are set to expire this December have criticized the government for going against previous agreements regarding their employment. And according to the teachers unions in the Vihiga County, the original agreement indicated that teachers who successfully completed a year of service and a contract would be offered permanent positions. However, the union claims that despite only a month remaining before the contracts end, the government has remained silent on the matter. Now, President William Ruto, who had earlier hinted at changes in policy regarding the hiring of these teachers, has yet to clarify the government's stance.
For the past 1 year, we have served diligently. We have taught with passion, we have mentored, we have prepared the future of thousands of kids across the nation, across our nation. However, our future is uncertain. Our future hangs in limbo. I want to address first of all, I want to address CS Mbadi. In 2025-2026 budgetary allocation, 7.2 billion were allocated for JS staffing, and these teachers are learned. From the 7.2 billion, around 2.88 billion are used for recruitment of the new cohort of interns that are coming in. The 4.32 billion, where is it going? Comrade Power! Now I'm inviting the Teacher Service Commission to explain to us how they are going to use this amount. This amount was supposed to confirm us.
Moguls Power! 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 So here as the interns of Vihiga County, we are here to represent our demands and also the demands of our entire nation, the teachers fraternity. We are here as a third nation because we signed a one-year contract. Comrades Power! Power! We signed a one-year contract. We are a frustrated group of teachers because after the one-year contract, we are here being told that we have to renew. I'm very disappointed in the fact that the president and also the so-called the CS of education is also unaware that we signed a one-year contract. Moguls Power! Power! Moguls Power! Power! Is this fair?
No!
No! Is it fair?
No! Na tumesikia rais akisema ya kwamba mwezi wa Januari anaenda kuajiri walimu wengine 20,000 ambao ni walimu wapya. Kumaanisha wakati hao wataajiriwa, hao watakuwa wamepoteza hata ile mkataba ambao wako nayo. Kwa hivyo tunataka tukumbushe rais ya kwamba ile agreement ambayo ilikuwa nayo internship ni ya mwaka moja. Internship ni mwaka moja. Ni mwaka moja. Kama internship imeisha mwaka moja, the only thing the government should do and which they have to do is to confirm this thing.
Now let's talk matters politics. And the Member of Parliament, George Kariuki, has dismissed claims by opposition leaders that the recent Mbeere North by-election was rigged, describing the accusations as baseless and a sign of leaders unwilling to accept defeat. Speaking at St. Faith ACK Mutinu Church in Deya constituency, Kariuki said the outcome of the by-election reflected the clear will of the people of Mbeere North. He urged opposition figures to carry out honest self-reflection instead of, as he put it, as creating excuses after losing at the ballot. Now, the MP maintained that any party dissatisfied with the conduct of the election should seek legal redress through the courts rather than issuing public allegations. And according to Kariuki, the electoral process was peaceful and credible, with voters freely expressing their choice.
Upinzani ama mtu yote akipoteza kura, badala ajiulize ni wapi alipanga vibaya ama ni wapi hakuweka bidii. Yeye ni mbio kuanza kuongea juu ya vile uchaguzi imeimbiwa. Hii hakuna uchaguzi imeimbiwa. Uchaguzi tulipiga kura sisi wote na tukapata mwenye aliwin. Na kama kura iliimbiwa, si mwenye ameimbiwa anajua anaweza enda kotini na atafute huko vile atasaidika. Lakini wananchi wakaamua wanataka kukaa ndani ya serikali. Sasa kuna mtu hapa kwetu eneo hili letu huwa anafikiria yeye ndiye anafanya watu wetu waelekee mahali wanaelekea. Hakuna mtu ako na hii community, ameshika hii community na ataipeleka kwa munanda vile anafikiria. Wamejificha sasa, wameingia kwa mashimo, wamejificha, na tunaambia tokeni hiyo mashimo, kujeni sasa, muombe msamaha, mkuje, mutupigie makofi, mkubali tumewashinda, na sisi tuendelee mbele kujenga nchi. Nimesikia kuna mtu anashinda akiambia watu tuko na milioni 8 sisi hapa Mount Kenya. Ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba hatuna hiyo milioni 8. Ile kura tulipeana 2022, Raila tukampea 13% ya 7 million. Hiyo ukifanya hesabu hiyo ni milioni 1. Pare President William Ruto akiwa candidate wetu tukampea 47% of 7.2 million. Hiyo ni 3.3 million. Uki add hizo mbili utapata the Mount Kenya 2022, mwaka wa 2022 tulipeana kura 4.3. Hiyo kura 4.3 hatuwezi toa rais tukiwa peke yetu. lazima tuungane na Wakenya wengine, lazima tuondoe ukabila, lazima tuondoe chuki, lazima tuondoe makasiriko, lazima tuondoe siasa mbaya, tukae mahali tutasaidika, na mahali mimi naona tutasaidika ni mahali serikali tutakuwa tunaunda. Ikifika huko 2032, tukitomboa 2027, 2032 tuanze kujipanga sasa tena kurudi State House. Lakini tukianza sasa kukaa kando kando, tutapoteza direction na tutaenda njia mbaya.
Now, the former Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, has strongly condemned the violent disruption of a church service attended by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in Kariobangi on Sunday. He decried the incident as a threat to the rule of law in a country that prides itself on upholding legal order. Now, speaking at St. Peter's Cathedral in Kenol, Matiang'i criticized the chaos which erupted when rival groups clashed outside the church, prompting police to deploy tear gas to disperse the crowd. He vowed to restore order in what he described as a nation gone off the rails. Now, during his address, Matiang'i also announced his intention to run for the presidency in the 2027 general elections, pledging to bring stability and reinforce the rule of law across the country.
In the wrong direction as a country. So, we fought for independence. We are an independent country with our constitution. How will you go to a church? Wewe hata niambie. Au unaingia kanisa na mnagani na polisi kupiga watu tia kazi kwa kanisa? Hata yule ambaye anatoroka, tafadhali mwambie arudi haraka atoke uroki, sababu sasa how can we live like that as a country? Bishop kama hawa wazee wanatuongoza hapa, watu wa Mungu wamewekea mikono, wanatuzungumzia eti kuingia hapa kuwapiga tia kazi. What's happened kasumba ile ya kusoea mpaka umelewa na uongozi na nguvu. You're trying to power.
All right, now let's talk matters education. And members of the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, that is KUPPET in Migori County, have raised objections over a decision by the union's national office to change the venue for the upcoming county elections. Now, the teachers have urged the KUPPET national leadership, headed by Secretary General Okello Misori, to reverse the decision to shift the voting venue for the 2026 KUPPET elections. Now, the polls are scheduled to be held on January 10th of 2026, and according to the teachers, the national office altered the voting location from Migori Teachers Training College to Awendo Stadium in Awendo town without providing any explanation for the change. They say the lack of consultation and justification has caused concern among candidates seeking elections and re-election to various union positions at the county level. Now, the affected members argue that Migori TTC had already been agreed upon as the polling venue, and it is more suitable and accessible for teachers across the county. Now, they fear the sudden change that could disrupt logistical planning and potentially affect participation in the electoral process. Take a look.
KUPPET election scheduled for January 10th. I want to comment about the venue. It's like the venue is scheduled to be at Sony in a field. That football pitch, which is just fenced, the place is not secure in terms of security. We are concerned, particularly the female teachers. The election may take place until long in the evening, and the teachers will want to wait for the results. How guaranteed is our security? Because we know Awendo, with some of the news we hear over the radio and television, security is a big concern to majority of the teachers. Two, the reason why we want this election to be brought to a central place, which is Migori town, is because of logistical challenges. You know, we love to use fare. Imagine teachers coming from Kuria West, Kuria East, traversing Migori town all the way to Awendo. That will be a lot of cost on their side. So it means this is going to be a barrier to majority of the teachers to go there and vote. In other words, the teachers' democratic right to choose the KUPPET representatives will be violated.
It's unfair for someone to change the venue of election by saying that it is being used by the student teachers to rig elections. That is unfair. TTC is centrally placed, and it is even what is used by IBC for the county tallying headquarters. How can it be that those big elections have never been manipulated in the TTC? It is the TTC where all government functions are done, and therefore it has served the teachers of Migori, and it is unfair to use the Migori TTC name in a wrong way, tagging students that are innocent, that they can be used to rig teacher selections. That is unfair.
Let the voting center be at a central place, and that is the usual place, which is Migori Teachers Training College. That will be a central place, and it will be comfortable with each and everyone from all the sub-counties.
Changing of venue of voting from Migori TTC to Awendo Stadium is totally unfair to teachers who come from far-flung areas like Nyateke, because it disadvantages us that we have to travel very lengthy distances so that we can reach the voting venue. After the voting, counting of votes takes a lot of time, and at times it ends very late in the night. How do we expect that these teachers will travel back to where they came from? I want to totally disagree with the national office for changing the voting venue from Migori TTC to Nyateke Green Stadium. We are insisting that the voting venue be reversed back to Migori TTC.
We know very well that all Kupet elections from the time of inception, all those elections have been held in Migori Teachers Training College. The time that our Secretary General was being elected for the first time, that election was held in Migori TTC. In 2011, it was the same venue. 2016, 2021, why change the venue now? We want to register our protest. Why? Because Awendo has been known for violence. Awendo Green Stadium, there are no basic amenities like washrooms are not there. There are no rooms. There is nothing there, plus electricity. So what is going to happen? When we finish voting at 6, then we start counting. By the way, last time we voted, we finished counting votes at 10 p.m. and there were only 10 positions. Now we are going for 14 positions. Most likely, we are going to finish the exercise maybe by midnight or 1.
All right, moving on to the corridors of justice. The High Court has granted stakeholders additional time to continue deliberations in a case challenging the directive by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, that is the EPRA, now under the Nairobi county government, that allows the suspension of passenger pickup and drop-off at fuel stations within Nairobi Central Business District. And according to orders issued by Justice Chacha Mwita, stakeholders are permitted to continue discussions, and in the meantime, Kenyans who filed the petition may carry on their activities from the affected fuel stations. Now, the case was filed by Kinata Sacco Society, Kako, and 11 others who argued that the sudden enforcement of the ban was abrupt, disagreed legal procedures, and would negatively affect their daily operations. Take a look.
We have been patient in court. Today, the judge has ordered no interruptions. The matatus will continue carrying passengers from where they have been operating for the last 30 years. These festivities, we are addressing the whole country that there will be no transport crisis. The owners of the matatu will do what they have been licensed to do. They will operate from where they have been operating nationally.
All right, now the judiciary has called on the public to embrace former inmates and support their reintegration into society, warning that isolation and rejection often fuels repeat criminal behavior. Speaking during a visit to Nyanyuki Jiki prison in Laikipia County, judicial officers emphasized that many inmates experience abandonment, particularly those who have little or no contact with their families. The officials were at the facility to distribute gifts to prisoners in preparation for the festive season. They noted that the justice system is designed not only to punish offenders but also to rehabilitate them and prepare them for the successful re-entry into the community. Take a look.
To remind everyone that is in the prison so that they don't feel like we have forgotten them. Sometimes you might be here and you feel ni kama unasaulika. Sometimes the officers also tell us that some of them don't have constant contact with their families. So we wanted to remind them that we think of them. We wanted them to know that even when they finally finish their sentences and they come out there, they don't have to worry about whether or not society will accept them. There'll always be a place for them. Whether they are here or whether they're out there, we still see them as people, and we want to make them feel that love, especially in this festive season. So as Nanyuki Law Courts, I initiated this program of visiting them, and I encouraged everyone in the court to contribute something. So we have been able to raise money as a court, and also from my friends and family who also contributed. So we got them a few gifts which you have seen. So some we left with the men, and now we've also come for the ladies. And we were also told there are some challenges that they have, especially with the newborns and the other children that are here, with pampers, sanitary towels and things like that. So kuja tu kuwakumbusha kuwa tunawakumbuka kila siku na tunawapenda. Tunangoja pia wakitoka hiyo, wakimaliza sentence zao, wakikuja huko nje wajue wako na familia na kuna watu pia wako na hope now. We are waiting for them. Tunangoja wamalize wakuje na watangamane na watu wengine katika society, wasifeel kama wakikuwa hapa wako peke yao, like they have been forgotten and isolated, wamesahaulika na watu wengine. So tunataka tu pia hata kama wako prison wakumbuke pia hao tunawa appreciate kama watu wengine.
Tumefurahi sana, tumeweza kutembelewa na Your Honor from the Nanyuki Law Courts on behalf of her colleagues and wale ambao wanafanya huko. Wametuletea zawadi, wametuletea early Christmas and we really appreciate. Wametuletea vitu.
Alright, now let's get sporty, and KCB FC staged a spirited comeback to secure a vital 1-1 draw against Kakamega Homeboys in a SportPesa League clash played at Bukungu Stadium. Now the host took an early lead when Gideon Bendeka finished clinically from right-wing cross, placing Homeboys in control in the opening stages. KCB struggled to find rhythm early on and were fortunate not to concede a second goal, with Humphrey Mieno making a crucial defensive clearance with December Kisaka and Francis Kahiro both came close for the visitors. Now Homeboys missed a clear opportunity to extend their lead before halftime, allowing KCB to remain in contention as the host went into the breakthrough in a narrow 1-0 advantage. KCB returned for the second half with renewed urgency and were rewarded when Boniface Omondi struck the equalizer calmly, finishing to restore parity and lift the visitors' confidence. The bankers continued to press on, appeared to have completed the turnaround late on, but their would-be winning goal was ruled out for offside.
First half we played good football, good determination, good show, but the referee denies us a win. We are supposed to collect 3 points. Of course, yes, we lost chances, but it's a starting point, and also we are going in. After losing those matches, we are coming strongly. You saw what we did today, and the confidence, and the composure, and purpose, urgency, I saw it today. The strong team, number 2 on table, but also referee can also referee. They should be fair. At least the best team should win. Yeah, we have to continue working, although sometimes we had some injuries, and they slow us down, although we have many injuries. That's why we see even our players are not 100%. But we are struggling in terms of maintaining the injuries and also to keep up playing the same injuries. But nothing we can do, we have to continue with it because we expect them. Yeah, we'll do better. I can see the progress is good. For 3 matches we are not lost. Although we wanted main points, but we got 6 out of 5, out of 4 matches. It's not bad and it's not good. But our focus is the next month.
I'm not impressed because we haven't get the 3 points, but you have played a good game away from home. We take the positive and work towards the next game. I think you're going to work on that. The coach has already seen. You're going to work more on finishing and you're going to score in the next game. For me, I think it was a goal because it was a pass from the opponent. I expect maximum cooperation and maximum points. We are going to work hard in training so that we come with 3 points in the next game.
Right, Kenya's junior stars have intensified preparations ahead of their crucial third-place playoff match against host Ethiopia in Sekafa Under-17 AFCON qualifiers scheduled for Tuesday, December 2nd of 2025 at the Abebe Bikila Stadium that is in Addis Ababa. Now, the high-stakes encounter set to kick off at noon will determine the final East African team to qualify for the 2026 Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Now, the playoff offers Kenya a second chance to secure continental qualification after narrowly missing out on automatic slots reserved for the tournament finalists. Now, the junior stars finished their Group A campaign with determination, opening with a head-fought draw against Somalia before registering consecutive victories over Rwanda and South Sudan. Their only defeat in the group stage came at the hands of the Ethiopia, setting the stage for a tense rematch. Speaking during the team's training camp, assistant coach Peter Okindi said the squad remains upbeat and fully focused on the task ahead.
Yeah, I think and believe by what we've seen today in the recovery session, I think the boys are on, the team is on, and we all have one goal from the first time we came in this tournament. Our aim was to qualify for the AFCON, and we believe as a team, we believe as a players, as much as we didn't book that ticket in the finals, we still have a chance to make it tomorrow through third playoffs. So for us, we are up, the team is on, and it will be a good fight tomorrow. For us, it's a big motivation from the boys on the technical bench. Yeah, we played them in the group stages, and it was a good fight from the boys. Yeah, considering on when we were playing them in the group stages, we didn't have most of our past players, but we've talked to the boys. The boys have talked to themselves, and we believe that coming tomorrow, any player that will be given a chance to participate in the third playoffs, he'll has to give his best for us to qualify. So it will be a game of tactics, and whoever that will command the midfield and have that hunger of success or winning will carry the day tomorrow. So for us, we are hungry for that success. We really want that victory tomorrow. We know Ethiopia will be playing under their fans and home ground, but for us, we'll get in the game heads up. Yeah, we were think it was more tactical, tactics and game approach. So it was more of tactics and game approach. And coming into this game, yeah, it will be of more tactics and players that will command the game and the style of play of Ethiopia. So it's a game that we need more planning, and we've consulted as the technical bench and players, and it's the last game of the tournament, and it still has a ticket on it. So just come out in a full house. Yeah.
Alright, we're now up to speed, those making headlines from across our 47 counties and as well as in the world of sports. My name is Macharia. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Laura Omondi. Thank you for, of course, keeping us company until this particular minute. Do have yourself a good night, and as always, let's do this again when God says we do.